Next on this, my report is the Sustainable Development Goals presentation. The mayor and I actually went to a presentation of this down at the Linden School. The students there have been working on this project for a few months. They made a presentation on May 10th to the mayor and me. And at this time, I'd like to call upon Dr. Doug Dias, our STEM director, to introduce the teachers and the students who are here to talk about Sustainable Development Goals.
Thank you, Mr. Terry. Rather than hearing from me, I'd like to turn this over to our two teachers, Christina Rosenthal and Lianne Mokfienski Ramos, and the students that are part of the club that brought it to my attention. And then I invited the superintendent and the mayor, and now we feel that it's valid and important for the committee to hear. So with that, I'll leave it to you.
Great, thank you. My name is Christina Rosenthal, and I am a 5th grade science teacher at the Linden STEAM Academy. Last year, I had the opportunity to take part in a Fulbright teacher exchange with Japan to learn about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Initiative, otherwise known as the SDGs. The SDGs are 17 goals for building a better world by the year 2030. They focus on universal challenges like ending poverty, fighting inequality, and stopping climate change. If you look at the SDG chart, which I think you have in your packet, you'll notice the broad themes of human health and welfare, education and opportunity, city management and infrastructure, and environmental sustainability. But they're all connected. Addressing one goal requires several other goals. The SDGs were negotiated by the leaders of 193 nations and stakeholders from business and industry, civil society, and the global public. So I was surprised that I had never heard of them. Turns out that's a pattern. People around the world, on national and local levels, are working to make progress toward the SDGs indicators, while few Americans are even aware of the goals. I came back from Japan inspired to do better. I worked this past year to bring these goals to my school and the Malden community. In my science classes, we researched how to improve food sustainability in urban environments and engineered solutions for people without land to garden indoors. We're doing outreach to teach people how to grow their own food and how this not only works toward the SDGs, but can transform their lives. I've led professional development sessions for teachers, showing them how we can use the SDGs as a unifying theme across curricula. And Lianne and I supported a student-led after-school SDG club to involve policymakers in Malden, which is why we are lucky enough to be here with you today. And these are some of the students in our club. Malden is a city with strong traditions, and it is enriched by demographic change and a commitment to social justice. We want to leverage the diversity of Malden to connect with other cities around the globe and work toward the SDGs. We want to bring the world to Malden and share Malden with the world. The general lack of US commitment to the SDGs means there is real opportunity for Malden to become a national leader. Each SDG contains measurable targets to help cities track their progress and plan next steps, many of which don't require major investment, only effort and buy-in from the community, schools, government, businesses, activists, and families. At Linden, we are already working to make our world and community a better place for everyone, and the goals help provide us with the resources, connections, and shared language to take our efforts to the next level. Promoting the SDGs in Malden will empower citizens to improve their communities and lives while also joining this essential global effort.
However, how can we get Malden to be part of this global initiative? My name is Lianne Mokfienski Ramos. I'm the 7th grade science teacher at the Linden STEAM Academy and an environmental scientist by trade. To implement this initiative in our city, we need to make the SDGs our own, based on our shared values, our diverse culture, and socioeconomic priorities. However, there are a couple steps in this process. Our first one is spreading the word and raising awareness of the goals at the local level. We need to get local actors and stakeholders involved to get this conversation going. So who are the local actors and the stakeholders? You, our students and their families, businesses that support our community, local nonprofits, and our city officials. Once we understand the purpose of the SDGs, the next step would be to set our local agenda, where we adapt the goals and the targets into a realistic local plan through evidence-based decision-making that is backed by public support and input. This plan would also take into consideration what our city is already doing that aligns with the SDGs. Several initiatives are happening right now in the city of Malden that address many of the targets. For example, the city will be replacing the water main line in the next couple years. This project addresses target 6.1, which is concerning safe and affordable drinking water for all, as well as target 9.1, which has to do with quality, reliable, and sustainable infrastructure. Once the local agenda is finalized, we start the implementation process and monitoring the process to track our progress towards the goals. This way, policymakers can see how they're moving towards the goals. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. There are many resources showcasing frameworks on how to develop and implement the SDGs in our city. The goals are meant to inspire policymakers and encourage collaboration. Through the SDGs, Malden can improve the quality of life on a local level while leading the world on the environmental, economic, and social issues. Thank you.
Who's the president? Who's the president? Mr. President?
You want to go first or me?
Oh, they go?
The SDGs are important because our world used to be a better place than it is now, but over all the time, we've been adding new things to our world that has been hurting our world, but we did not know that.
All right, Madam President?
So basically, the SDGs could help us by should I explain this? I forgot what I was gonna say.
That's okay. That's okay. Plenty of time. We can come back.
They can help us by making our climate a better place for people to live in, and the better of a place it is, the more people who will want to be like Malden and become a better place to live in.
Maybe you want to tell them why we're doing the project with growing food.
We're doing it at school. We're doing a project for growing food. We're doing that because it will it cleans the it helps with SDG like number 15, which is life on land. So like we wouldn't be using fossil fuels to transport foods from different countries and stuff, which is good for the environment because it wouldn't be wasting stuff and getting into the ocean.
All right, very good.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. So, are there any questions of the body? Or Superintendent, you want to add anything further, or what the next steps may be?
I just want to commend the students and staff on this. I think it's an incredibly enriching initiative and project that connects Malden to the world in a global sense of, they're learning responsible management of our resources and the sustainability of that. And I think when we have young students that understand that, I think we want to foster that and capture that and do what we can. I think one of the things that the mayor and I noticed was that Malden is on the way with some of these. Some of them are very major global initiatives, such as ending hunger, that I think we would all like to do, and we're taking little steps with that. But I think it goes back to the mantra that started, decades ago of, act locally and think globally. And these really tie it in on a nice high level that have a number of things that our students and staff and community can sponsor and undertake and commit to.
All right, well, I know what my homework assignment is after tonight, so I will circle back with you as we move forward. Thank you.